If you're in the Peninsula or Silicon Valley or San Francisco and you're looking to buying into the East Bay, you probably already crossed Hayward, San Leandro, and San Lorenzo off your list. And maybe you never even put them on. And look, I get it. My wife grew up in San Francisco and on the Peninsula. And for her, the East Bay might as well have been another country. But after 23 years of selling homes out here, I can tell you the perception of these three suburbs is about 15 years out of date. The buyers who figured that out are getting Peninsula caliber homes for half the money, and everybody else is missing out. So let me show you what they're seeing. Starting with the one that surprises people the most. Let's talk about San Leandro. People are surprised that this is a waterfront city. It's diverse, tech workers, young professionals, established families, and most people here own their homes. Inside San Leandro, there are 4 neighborhoods that you need to know. Okay, quick disclaimer here, okay? I'm not steering you in any shape or form to any of these neighborhoods or places that I mentioned. These are just some of the neighborhoods that I find interesting personally, and for the most part, I have clients that have moved in them. The first one is Studio Estates. This is the crown jewel, for me at least, the premier residential neighborhood in San Leandro. Tree-lined streets, historic Spanish Revival homes, beautiful, two-doors. If you like Burlingame, this is something like that. Here's the thing, these are the kind of homes you'd pay $2 or $3 million for over at the Peninsula. In Studio Estates, you're looking at half that, sometimes way less. So who lives here? Established families, people who want a neighborhood with actual character and history. It's peaceful, it's walkable, and these homes have serious bones. Next, Bayou Vista. Remember I said in the beginning that this is a waterfront city? They also have hills. This is up in the rolling hills of eastern San Leandro, and this one is all about the views. Bay views, generous lots, wide, quiet streets. It's the kind of neighborhood where you actually feel like you have space and privacy, which is rare this close to the bay. And the price is still a fraction of what comparable view costs you in the Peninsula or even in the Oakland and Berkeley Hills. Next up is Washington Manor. This is where the young families are going. Highly walkable, good streets, and Washington Manor Park is excellent. Solid schools. It's considered one of the safer parts of the city. You get that walkability without the Peninsula price tag. And then Heron Bay. This one is considered newer than the rest of San Leandro. A master-planned waterfront community right near the bay. Modern, upscale, tidy cul-de-sacs. If you're coming from Silicon Valley where everything is new and planned out, this scratches that itch. There are other neighborhoods around San Leandro, but these neighborhoods aren't a secret anymore. Character, walkability, waterfront access, actual space for half of what you'd pay for in the Peninsula. And real quick before we get on to the next one, people watching these videos reach out to us every single week, and every situation is different. Someone needs the commute, somebody needs the schools, somebody just wants a yard. So if you've got questions, shoot me a text, call me, or send me an email. Tell me 2 or 3 things you love and 2 or 3 things you can't stand, and I'll point you in the right, 2 or 3 neighborhoods. We're gonna narrow it down. And grab a free East Bay relocation guide in the description while you're down there. Everything we're covering today is in it. Area by area, from the 880 corridor all the way to the Delta. Now, the next town is one most Peninsula buyers that never even driven through, and it might be the most authentic community in the entire East Bay, San Lorenzo. This one is different. San Lorenzo Village was built in 1944 specifically for shipyard workers and returning World War II veterans. It was one of the first planned suburbs in America, and 80 years later, it still feels that way. Tight-knit, authentic, real. Now, I'll be honest with you, these are modest homes. 2 and 3 bedrooms with 1 bath, built with early pre-cut construction methods. They were affordable then, and they're still modest by today's standards. If you need a big modern floor plan, San Lorenzo is probably not your town. But here's what matters. The people who live there actually own them. These are multi-generational homeowners, families that have been there since their grandparents moved in. You can't manufacture that. Tree-lined streets everywhere, real community spaces, a town-wide HOA that keeps things managed and maintained. Some of the best weather in the East Bay. and the community actually invest in itself.
Hey guys, this is what I mean by San Lorenzo investing in itself. Let me show you this. This is the Lorenzo Theater. It's a historic theater, so they're renovating it. This has been closed for a while, so they are fixing this thing. And if you know anything about San Lorenzo, Kavanaugh Liquors, that was the lucky lottery retailer around here. It closed a few years ago. And speaking of investing in itself, that vacant lot over there, they're gonna do some housing on that. So yeah, this is San Lorenzo.
So who moves here? Young families who want space, people who value community over status. There are pockets of newer homes, mostly townhomes, but the overwhelming majority are those mid-40s originals. Homes with serious bones built to last in a neighborhood with 80 years of real history. Again, for half the price of what you might get in the Peninsula, maybe even less. So I was talking to a previous client last week, moving in from the Peninsula, and they told me San Lorenzo wasn't even on their radar until they drove through it. Now that happens a lot. I wish I had someone show me San Lorenzo when we were shopping for a home. So again, if you're trying to figure out where you fit, text or email me or call me 2 or 3 of the things you can't stand, and I'll take it from there. Okay, this last one is the one everybody warned you about. And it's the one I actually lived in when I first got to California. Hayward. And let's be honest, Hayward has a bad reputation in the Bay Area. People hear Hayward and they think crime, gang activity, homelessness. That perception is real. People have it. I just had a comment on one of my Hayward videos, and they said it's so dangerous over there that they're scared to walk around. You should check out that video over here after this one. But here's what I actually see after 23 years of selling here. Hayward has a neighborhood for everyone. Modest homes in Winton Grove, nice homes in Fairway Park, prime real estate in Bailey Ranch, gated communities in Stonebray. You're not choosing between one version of Hayward. You're choosing which version fits your budget and your lifestyle.
Welcome to one of the East Bay's best kept secret, Bailey Ranch. If you've never been up here, you're not alone. And honestly, that's part of the charm. Tucked into the hills of the East Bay, Bailey Ranch has that quiet, exclusive feel where the streets are clean, the views are wide, and the neighbors actually wave at you.
Now let me give you the real story on the safety question, because I'm not going to dodge it, okay? Yes, the crime stats are real, higher than any of us would want. Here's the context. It's mostly auto theft and petty crime, and it's mostly concentrated in the commercial and busier parts of the city. I've said this before and I will keep saying it. I've lived in Hayward and I have never personally felt unsafe anywhere in the city. If my family members were just wandering around Hayward, I would not worry about their safety at all. And what you get for looking past the bad Hayward perception, more bang for your buck than anywhere else in the immediate Bay Area. You're centrally located. You've got 2 BART stations, a downtown that's actually growing with real restaurants and real activity. And because of that perception gap, you're buying at a value most people miss. So here's the bottom line. Hayward, San Leandro, San Lorenzo are where the smart money from the Peninsula, Silicon Valley, and even San Francisco, it's actually where they're moving to right now. Character, walkability, space, community, and you keep a lot of your money in your own pocket. The perception is old and not entirely true. The opportunity is right now. If you want to talk through which of these three actually fits your situation, call, text, or email me. My phone number and contact information is down below. Now that these three are on your map, you need to see how they stack up against the rest of the East Bay. I've got that full breakdown right here. Watch that next. I'm Mac Rogers. I'll see you in the next one.